are now tuned in,
tapped in,
and turned on
to Young Gurus TV. And today we're going to be talking about the law of attraction and basically the basics of, what it is, real life examples, and how we use it in our everyday life. The law of attraction is basically the ability to attract whatever it is that you want, whatever it is that you desire, based on what you set your focus on. And the way that we do that is through energy. So basically what you tend to focus on is essentially what you tend to give your energy to. And because everything is energy, what you give your energy to is essentially what you attract into your reality.
Easy way to kind of understand this is like a lot of people we've all had bad days where it might have started with something that happened in the morning, right? So something happens in the morning time and your day is already off to a bad start, and so you get like upset about it or worked up about it, and after that you notice like everything that happens in the rest of your day kind of like is bad as well. That is no coincidence. That is the law of attraction. So basically what's happening is you're vibrating at that frequency in which something bad happened. So you can only attract more bad things. So if you wake up and you stub your toe and you're like, oh my gosh, this sucks, blah, blah, blah. And then, you go do your daily routine and it still sucks. You're in this mindset like everything is going bad, blah, 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 blah. And so now only bad things are happening. Same thing goes for when good things are happening. So if something good is happening, you're feeling good, you're feeling motivated, you're feeling accomplished, whatever it may be, you're bringing that into your reality by radiating good energy. And so that's kind of a really easy way to understand what's happening.
And a lot of times these things happen subconsciously. So like she was saying with the stub your toe, you kind of have a little hissy fit and whatnot, and you go about the rest of your day subconsciously attracting negative or what it is that you don't want into your reality, and you don't even know it sometimes. So it's important that you get out ahead of your day, of your energy, so that you are deliberately creating your reality and attracting what it is that you want.
Right. So the best way to go about, breaking kind of that chain of events, when something happens, don't really get, too worked up about it. Just be like, okay, that happened. Let me let it go. Let me go about the rest of my day. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we need to get out of the habit of just letting things affect us to like, the
point of no return.
Right.
But so we want to get serious about deliberate creation. We are all deliberate creators when we finally decide that what we want is determined by us. What we want to experience is up to us. And so when you know that and you get a little in tune with yourself, you are ahead of the game, and you know how to respond more effectively in ways that are conducive to your energy, your peace, your sanity. And so like she was saying, when you stub your toe, or stub your toe, whatever happens, if something negative happens, you take time and you find constructive ways to bring it back, and take your energy and your focus off of what happens, and more so on what you want the rest of your day to go like, the rest of your week to go like, and so on and so forth.
So even if you wake up to that annoying ex or that negative family member, they send you a text message and you're like, it's too early for this, let it go. Think about how you want the rest of your day to go. Remember that you want to be positive and you want to accomplish great things throughout the day. So that's what you can attract into your reality.
Correct. So with that being said, we're going to go into some ways that we've seen it in our reality, and then we're going to give you some tips on how you can get out ahead of your day and maintain your energy throughout the good and bad.
Okay, so I'll say I had like a specific situation that kind of happened to me like a couple of weeks ago, maybe like last month or the month before that, and I was getting in trouble with my sister. I was getting in trouble with my sister about something. My dad was just going really hard. Like, one week an incident happened, and after that another incident happened the week after. So he was, just like really messing up my energy. and messing up what I had going on. But you know what? That first night, the first incident happened. Jordan actually drove me home that night, and we were laughing about it because we was like, it's not funny, but it's funny because like I know this is not gonna last. And I kid you not, like 2 weeks after all that happened, he let it go. You know, like I was out of control.
That's a good point that she makes because a lot of time we're also affected by other people's energy, so it may be hard for us to get out of the state that we're in, especially when we're, you know, surrounded by it. But you are responsible for you and what it is that you want, you know, your reality to look like. So even if the people around you are being negative or, you know, not feeling the same as you, if you're in a good mood and they're trying to, you know, lower your vibrations or whatever the case may be, you are responsible for you. So let it go.
I definitely agree with that. Like, literally, he was really trying to bring me down.
Right.
And he was so mad that I wasn't affected by his energy. That he had no choice but to get on board. He had no choice but to get on board with mine. And it's like the whole situation flipped just because I didn't give him the reaction.
Oh my God, that is such a prime example, y'all. Because when you're deliberately creating your reality, you have to understand that contrast still exists. Things are still going to happen because you are co-creating with people who are also living their own experience.
Right.
And so some of them may be aware, may not be aware, but at the end of the day, that's all contrast. And so it's important that you understand how to respond to the contrast so that it doesn't affect where you are in your journey and your experience. So y'all have to understand, I've seen the altercation firsthand, and so to me, in my eyes, it wasn't really Jada's fault. You know what I'm saying? She was brought into the situation based on another party, and you know, it just kind of got taken out of hand. But she still got in trouble for it. Now, she could have took that situation and got an attitude with her dad. She could have got angry and, you know, just responded and overreacted. But, you know, she, you know, took it with a grain of salt, and the situation ended up working in her favor. And that tends to happen 9 times out of 10 when you're dealing with things like that. You know, if you just pay attention to how you respond and you stay consistent with what it is that you want to attract, you're only going to get that. The universe cannot deny you of that.
Yeah. That's another point. Let go of things you cannot control. So in this situation, Jada could not control somebody else's reaction to what was happening. She couldn't control the way her dad was feeling. He was angry and he was very expressive about that, and that was out of her control. But once you let go of things you can't control, that's when the universe starts to work in your favor. So she only controlled what she could, which is how she felt. So when she was like, okay, I can't control how he feels, only myself. I'm gonna feel, you know, neutral about the situation and not let it affect me too much. That's when things started to work in her favor. And so that's how you should pretty much go about just about anything that's kind of like, you know, working you up. Some things you just don't have control over, and such is life. So
it's okay to take like 10 minutes. Cry about it. Keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Because like she said, you can't control it. So
and this is going to say, we're not saying that, you know, every single time something occurs, you're not going to feel any way about it. Because it's such is life, you know, you're human as well. We're human as well. We know what we know, but, you know, we still get angry and sad, unmotivated, all those kind of things. This is just to let you know when you do start feeling like that, how to be consciously aware of how it is that you're feeling and how to go about that.
And so, like, when you just starting out, if you are somebody who's embarking on this spiritual journey, or just in life period, you just found out about the law of attraction and you want to become a deliberate creator, the fact that you are consciously aware of how you feel is enough in itself. Just as a beginner, that the fact that you know how you feel and, you know, you don't want to feel necessarily that way anymore, then that's all that you need. Because from that point on, you're only going to do things that kind of help you get out of that bad feeling, or, you know, the little rut that you're in.
You should really pay attention to your feelings, because emotions are the guiding system as to where you are, where you're vibrating. When you feel happy, you're vibrating higher. When you don't,
you can only attract what it is that you desire once you are feeling good and resistance free. So you go about that by doing things that make you feel good, constantly maintaining, like, you know, that eager, ready to go spirit, you know what I'm saying? Another thing, practicing gratitude is a great way to feel good. So, you know, when you do feel upset or whatever the case may be, take some time to appreciate, you know, where it is that you are and what you do have. That way you can build momentum back to what it is that you're trying to attract.
And before I reach my next tip, when she said the way that you start manifesting what it is that you want is by feeling good. The reason why that is because essentially what you want will make you feel good, and so it's good to get in the practice of feeling good now, and so that you can easily and effortlessly attract those things into your reality. But with that being said, my next tip is obviously to meditate. A lot of people have there's different ways to meditate, but essentially what you're doing when you're meditating is you're clearing your mind. And when you're clearing your mind, you stop resisting thought. I mean, obviously we can't control all the thoughts that come to our head, because it's also a reflection of our experience and everything that we're seeing, our surroundings and things like that. And so when you meditate, you kind of just stop thought. You clear your mind, and that allows for you to boost your vibration because you're not so focused on this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? And you can more strategically focus on what it is that you want. That was my little tip.
Also, a lot of people, when it comes to meditating, they might say like, I don't have time, or I don't know how to do it, whatever the case may be.
Stop the excuses.
Right, that's for one. Meditating is not hard at all. It's very, very simple. You don't have to do it for a long time. You can do it for 3 minutes. I meditated for 3 minutes when I didn't have time before. 3 minutes is fine. And you don't have to necessarily just sit down. You can meditate in plenty of ways. Meditating can be focused on something, like focusing on a specific sound. There's plenty of ways to meditate. So take just a few minutes out of your day to really clear your mind. Your mind is processing a good 700,000. I think somewhere around there. Your mind is processing up to 700,000 thoughts a day. So at some point, you know, you're going to get worked up and overwhelmed, constantly trying to process all these thoughts. So take some time to quiet your mind and focus and get back in the swing of things.
And I think this will be our last tip for the video. Start envisioning what it is that you want as if you already have it. That helps me a lot with, you know, trying to bring myself back. Just think good thoughts. So, you know, I know I want to travel the world one day. I know I want to have, you know, a Range Rover. I know I want, you know, to be able to provide for my family, give them gifts on the holidays, the birthdays. There's so much stuff that I want to do, and so just imagine yourself doing those things, and like just that alone, just thinking good thoughts will boost your vibration and then shift your focus to something that actually makes you happy, makes you feel good.
With that being said, our closing remark would be, remember, everything starts with thought. Everything starts with you. So make sure, you know,
make sure you are focused on what it is that you're putting your energy into, and that the law of attraction is always in effect.
And working in your favor.
And working in your
always
favor.
working in your favor.
Always.
If it feels like it's not,
it's you.
It's you.
It's you.
If it feels like it's not, it's you. You are resisting whatever it is that you want in some kind of way. So
stay ahead of the game. Get out ahead.
Get out ahead. Yep.
And that will be the ending of our video. Thank you guys, and we will see you next time on Young Gurus TV.